drinks vouchers in store. Hang on. How are you, Tommy? You're a busy man. This is Harry.
Councillors, Chief Executive Padraig McManus, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organising committee, I would like to welcome you all here tonight to mark this special occasion, the closure of Bellacorick Station. Also, before I forget, I'd like to mention the photographic displays around the hall. We'd like to thank everybody who've given pictures to it, especially Seamus Parsons and PG Hughes, and lots of others, but particularly those two. Also, there's a menu for everyone in the audience, so if you want to take it away with you, it's a token of the night if you want to bring it home. Okay, I would now like to call on Noel Greeley, the plant manager in Bellacorick, to say a few words.
Councillors, Chief Executive Padraig McManus, ladies and gentlemen. On Tuesday, the 1st of March, earlier this year, at approximately 10 to 3 in the afternoon, Unit 1, which was the last unit running in the station at the time, was taken off load. In so doing, this brought to an end 43 years of electricity generation at the station. Indeed, it was an indication, I think, of the significance of the event that a large number of retired staff joined with the current staff on the day to bear witness as the shift team took the unit off load. It was a very momentous and indeed a very sad occasion for us in the station. However, tonight is very much a celebration. It's about celebrating the 47 years that have passed since construction started in Bellacorick. It's about celebrating, I think, and recognising the role that the station has played in the generation of electricity, and also recognising the role that it has played in particular in the development of the North West. Bellacorick was also the location for the development of many friendships, so tonight is also about meeting old friends, renewing old acquaintances and revisiting the pages of history. I would like to welcome you all to our celebration tonight, and indeed it is a pleasure to see so many faces, many of whom are new to me, but all of whom I think have played a vital role in Bellacorick down through the years. In particular, I'd like to welcome our retired members of staff and also our former members of staff who've returned from various locations to celebrate with us tonight. And also, I think, the spouses and partners of our deceased members of staff. You can all rightly be proud of the role that you played and the contribution that you've made, and I thank you sincerely for that. The normal lifetime of a station is about 20 years, but Bellacorick has been brought to its present age through the skills and commitment of the staff, past and present, who maintained it, operated it, and performed their functions to a consistently high standard. Indeed, I don't think it's any surprise to know that such was the level of commitment that in the last full year in the station, we again won awards for safety performance and for tidy stations. And even on the very last day, both generating units were still 100% available. You can all, as I say, rightly be proud of the role that you played, and I thank you for that. I would also like to welcome our other guests, members of our senior management team and our Chief Executive, Pádraig McManus. I want to thank you for taking the time out to be with us tonight for this unique event. Work on the construction of the station commenced in 1958, but before that, in 1951, Bordnamona had already started work on the development of the bog around Bellacorick. The partnership and cooperation between ourselves and Bordnamona since then, at all levels, I think has been critical to the success of the station. We estimate that in its lifetime, the station has burned approximately 12 million tonnes of peat, which were all harvested in the local Bordnamona developed bog. In that context, I'm glad that we've been joined tonight by some of our colleagues from Bordnamona. I'd like to say that they're most welcome, and I thank them for their contribution and commitment to the station down through the years. The development of the power station in Bellacorick was a hugely significant event at the time, as you can imagine, creating much needed employment. And since then, the station has played an integral part in the community. The success indeed that the station has enjoyed has been made possible through the support and commitment of this wider community. As a result, the station has been a proud and willing supporter of local initiatives, sponsoring local schools, sporting clubs, civic organisations, as well as various charity events. We are delighted that members of this local community, including Dr. Mickey Loftus, our councillors Jerry Coyle and Tim Quinn, have been able to be with us tonight. Peter Hines from Mayo County Council was also due to attend, but had to unfortunately pull out close to the event. But I want to thank you all for your contribution and support and assistance that you've given everyone in the ESB down through the years. Thank you very much. I've only been in Bellacorick for the past 3 years, but as a Mayo man and a proud Mayo man, I'm glad that I've had an opportunity to share in the unique experience that is Corrick. The immense pride in the place, the total and high-level commitment to the station and to the ESB, and above all, the positive can-do attitude of the staff is what will stay with me. From a personal point of view, I'd like to say that it's been a pleasure and a privilege to know and work with all of the staff over the last 3 years, and I want to thank you very sincerely for the support and assistance you've given me personally. To finish, I want to thank the organising committee who worked hard on this evening, and in particular I want to thank our secretary and our MC tonight, Tommy McKinley, who did an awful lot of work. and he's not finished yet. I also want to thank Pat Yates and Breed Tunney, who gave us invaluable assistance and brought an element of professionalism to the whole thing. Thank you, Breed and Pat. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the night, and I wish you well for the future. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Thanks, Noel. I'd now like to call on our Chief Executive of the ESB, Pádraig McManus, to say a few words.
Councillors, visitors from around the country who have worked in Bellacorick in the past, and friends, and I suppose stout-hearted men and women from the County Mayo. These are nights, I suppose, of mixed emotions, and people, I suppose, everybody knows that, you know. I mean, to an extent, there's a certain sadness at the closing of Bellacorick station, and but at the same time, I think it's a night for people to remember all the sort of great times that people shared together in the station, and I think that that's been a significant factor in the closure events that we've had for the peat stations in the ESB. And I think that fact that people remember all the sort of the good times and the great events and that took place over the years, I think is what tonight is all about, for people to remember those things. And I think from ESB's perspective, Bellacorick has always been a fantastic place to work in, and I think I was struck most when I was at the event in Ballina when we were celebrating 40 years of Bellacorick, where everybody who I spoke to said that of all the places they worked in the ESB, that the atmosphere and the working environment in Bellacorick was the best. And I think that's a credit to all of you who have worked in it over the years. As Noel said, it was a station whose availability was fantastic. Not only in terms of over the years, in terms of supporting the system, but the grid always wanted Bellacorick to be on as well, and when they wanted it on, it was always there. So I think it's, you know, the credit that you have sort of left in what you've done in Bellacorick, I think will always be remembered in the ESB. I would also like to sort of, you know, also comment on the contribution that Bord na Móna have made. I think Noel has already mentioned it, but it was a partnership in our peat stations, and a partnership that continues today. And I think that there is great credit to the relationship that built between ESB and Bord na Móna over those years. I suppose particularly also want to thank the organising committee, who sort of put so much work into getting such a wonderful event together, and to see such a great crowd turnout for this event. But I suppose the real thing I wanted to do was, on behalf of ESB, just to pay tribute to all of you who have made Bellacorick an integral part of the ESB over the years. And great credit is due to you all, and I hope you have a great night and you share great memories of Bellacorick, and in the history of ESB, that Bellacorick will always have a special place for the way in which the station operated and was run, and the way in which it contributed to ESB. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Porrick, for such kind words. I suppose it's only appropriate and fitting then that our last speaker tonight, he was our first station manager in Bellacorick. That's Henry Matthews, and I suppose it's appropriate that he has the last word as well.
I arrived at Bellacorick in September 1961. I left in December 1966. My first duty was selecting the shift staff with Christy Quinn. Tommy McAllen, recommended by a Reverend Mother. I'm assured that this happened in South Wales. He was recommended to us. From the outset, I wanted to face full automatic control to the boilers. I contacted Joe Dempsey, Bailey Meter serviceman in Belfast. Joe was interested and quoted price. The ESB, however, was reluctant. However, I ordered the equipment, and Brendan Foley installed it. On the community side of Corrick, Reverend Mother of Gurtner Abbey asked me if the station bus could terminate there as a convert. I agreed, and all the girls from Keenan and further south travelled by bus. Thereafter, Bellacorick was a melting point of languages. We had French, German, And in German, I spoke German myself because I'm married to an Austrian, or a half Austrian, who speaks better German than I do. She was in Germany, in Austria, when Hitler took over. But German, Swedish, Finnish, and even Swahili was spoken in the station. Tonight's event reminded me that the first hoolie we had in Corey, curiously enough, was for the shift staff going for training in road power station. Billy Carson gave a speech that night in Irish. It has been my good fortune to work in Bellacorick. My happiest memories are for many colleagues there. Thank you all for organising tonight's dinner and for inviting me and my wife. I want to wish you all and your families every happiness in the future.
Thank you very much, Henry. We have a small presentation to make to Henry for his contribution to the station. I'm going to call on Ray Mulligan, who's the chairman of the Shop Stewards Group, to make the presentation. We have another presentation. It's our final presentation for the night, and I'd like to call on Mickey Garrett. Mickey, who's our longest serving staff member in Bellacorick, to make a presentation of a photo album which contains the history of the station in photos to the Chief Executive, Patrick McManus. Thanks, Mickey.
Goodbye, Mickey.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move ahead with the entertainment. But before I do, I'd like to say thanks to the hotel for the food and the service. I think they put a good show on. Next we have a guy called Mark Roberts who's going to sing a few songs. And the reason Mark is here tonight is because Mark is the son of Patrick and Bridie Hegarty from Ballina Street. And Patrick has spent over 40 years in the station. I won't say how many more years over 40, but of service. And Mark is Patrick's and Bridie's son. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Roberts.
Ticket in your hand, I got a feeling in my heart I didn't understand. Something in the way you were, something foreign in your eyes, made me wish that I could share one moment of your life. Mysterious woman, I wonder did you see the kind of spell you put on me? Mysterious woman, I wish I could find the key to the kind of spell you put on me. The room was full of faces, but you stood out from the crowd. People going places far away beyond the clouds. Were you from the streets of Paris or the coast of Italy? Or were you from as far away as the Gulf of Araby? Mysterious woman, I wonder did you see the kind of spell you put on me? Mysterious woman, I wish I could find the key to the kind of spell you put on me. Did speaker called your plane. There was no way of knowing if I'd ever see you again. But this brief, so brief encounter will always stay with me. I will always treasure the bittersweet memory. Mysterious woman, I wonder did you see the kind of spell you put on me? Mysterious woman, it'll always be a mystery, the kind of spell you put on me.
Thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen.